Hello everyone, welcome to the ichimokucharts.com daily analysis for the SP 500 for Tuesday, September 24th, 2013. Well, a continuation of the trend to the downside today, a candle that's made a lower high and a lower low. A black body candle denoting the sellers making an amount of net bearish progress on the day between the open and the close. So the sellers have continued the downside momentum in terms of net progress made. One slightly worrying factor here is the fact that the size of the body of the candle is smaller than the previous body, and the body of the candle before that was smaller than the body prior to that as well. So what we're seeing is, in net terms, that momentum is beginning to slow, and this suggests that there is a possibility of a change of trend. Now, having said that, however, we have seen the sellers close with control of this market, so they've closed between the midpoint level and the low, so not strong control, but still a moderate amount of control, and this does raise some doubt about whether there might be a change of trend based on that slowing down of momentum, and does suggest there is a possibility of the market continuing to trade down to lower levels. Now, this is similar to an indecisive spinning top type candle, and we have a shadow on the top and a shadow on the bottom, but if we look closely, the shadow on the top is more than double the size of the shadow on the bottom, so it suggests that the rejection from the upside, and in particular the rejection from the area around the Tenkan-sen, has been more than the upside rejection. So even though this is a somewhat indecisive candle where there's been rejection by both the buyers and the sellers, this downside momentum is probably favouring the sellers at the moment rather than the buyers. Now, interestingly, with the breakout down below and the close below the 1700 level, that is a fairly significant event, and we see here for the previous day's trading where it held as support and the market was rejected from there. Today the market hasn't been rejected from below that area, and it does suggest that there is potential for this market to trade to lower levels. So what we're looking at here is for the market to test down to the window that was opened, and there is a good opportunity now for the window to hold as support, and that window extends from roughly 1691 down to about 1688, and it may provide solid support for this market. Just below where the window is trading as well, we have the area at 1687 that was prior support and resistance, so an area that combined with the window may provide very strong support for this market. We could see strong buying coming in. Down below there we have the cloud, and this illustrates how the cloud is a dynamic level of support and resistance, and the level of the cloud actually drops away down to about the 1675 level, and it coincides with the top of that very large zone of previous support and resistance. So we do have very solid support if the market does trade down to 1675, but of more interest at the moment is this area at the window and just below. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci extension, we're examining the relationship of the first time frame downtrend to the previous time when the market is trending down. And for the prior day's trading, we saw the market rejected from below the 161.8% level. We were looking for a potential change of trend. That hasn't occurred. No higher high and higher low. The trend has continued down. The market is now trading down below the 161.8% level in a moderately bearish manner. Our next target is the 261.8%. This suggests that there is a possibility of the market testing down to this level, and of course that really does depend on the market trading through that window that was opened up. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci retracement, this is probably a little bit more significant than the previous technique. Here we have the market trading through the 23.6% level. We saw that the previous day. The market has actually tested back up to that level for today's trading, been rejected from there, and our target is the 38.2% level at 1690, and if we look closely, that coincides with the top of that window pretty much. So it strengthens the amount of potential support at that window that extends from 1691 down roughly to 1688. So we should be looking for buyers to come in down around that level. Now, if we do see the market trading in a strong bearish manner down through there, our next target is the 50% level, and look where that is, coinciding just with the top of the cloud and with the area that the Kijun-sen is trading at the moment. So there should be very, very solid support down around these levels, around the 1678 level. Now, in terms of Ichimoku, a bullish market in the long-term time frame, with the market trading up above the cloud, so that coincides with the market being in a second time frame uptrend. And the market is trading up above the Kijun-sen, the pink line here, so we're bullish in the medium-term time frame as well as the long-term. But now the market has followed through from the bearish breakout down below the Tenkan-sen and continuing the bearishness in that short-term time frame and suggesting that this market may trade to lower levels. Looking at the Kijun-sen, that is pointing flat, and price action is being attracted back towards that flat Kijun-sen, so that is a real possibility that the market will trade lower. The Tenkan-sen, as I've mentioned, has acted as resistance to this market, and that's very important too. Where in a strongly bullish market, we would expect to see the market trade back out up above the Tenkan-sen, the green line, and close up above there. But we may have seen something of a change of sentiment in this market. If we look at all this first time frame uptrend that the market was in, only two small black body candles today, for this week we've had four consecutive black body candles, suggesting that the sellers are now quite strong in this market and a change of sentiment. As I've mentioned, the worrying factor here is that the body of the candle is less than the previous, and that was less than the one prior to that. So momentum seems to be waning for the sellers, but there still is a good potential for them to trade down to this area around the window and just below, and let's watch how the market reacts around that level.